It was a dark and stormy night, and I was thinking. It was hard to sleep, but then an idea came to my head. The world race was a scam, and then I fell asleep in its comfort. The world race does not make sense, and in this video I'll explain it. The world race seems to be a private event only for those who were picked. If we actually look at everything besides the comics, only Tesla and the drivers he selected knew of the world race, with supporting evidence being from Karma.
Tesla recruited the best drivers for the world race.
Yeah, it was me and Kurt, Taro, and...
So who won?
Doesn't matter who won.
Karma didn't even know that there was a world race, nor who the winner was. She didn't even know who the best driver in the world was. You would think that something as big as this would be a global sensation, much less for those actually interested in racing, but no, she doesn't know. Especially since it's an opportunity to learn, given her own character. This leads me to wonder, why wasn't there a bigger crowd? Even Fast and Furious has bigger crowds than that one scene in Acceleracers. You would think that 4 world race competitors, those being Kurt, Taro, Wild and Vert, would force up a much larger crowd, but no, it just seems to be a normal event. And yes, although Major Wheeler did show up at Tesla's cube, it was only due to that note that Vert left.
When my squadron stood down, I came home and found a message from my son. Something about driving in a race.
And the fact that he knew where the cube was alludes to the fact that he worked to Tesla more than anything. You would think that Vert would get recognition being literally the best driver in the world, but literally no one knows who he is or why he is. I mean, he's been in the Teku for a minimum of 2 years and Karma still doesn't know anything about the world race. Even the way Tesla words the world race.
5 million for every member of the winning team, and the knowledge that you're the fastest racer in the world.
This literally entails that only you and a select few know you are the best, in which almost anyone can do that. Only you know you're the best at a certain something, which, like, that's just not it. However, given Tesla's nature, it would make sense that he doesn't want anyone in excess knowing about the world race, given that it would destroy everyone's perception of reality that there is in fact aliens and another dimension. The second problem we have is that most of the drivers don't even have any accolades. You would think that the world race would actually have the best drivers in the world, meaning that there would be qualifiers so that the drivers are actually good, meaning that they are actually competitive and not wasting a space to race. Much like that random girl running with professional Olympic sprinters, it's like, why are you here? The fact that Vert is even chosen is so confusing. He only just got his license, he has no accolades, no experience, no nothing. Sure, you have Kurt, the world's best Grand Prix racer, Taro, who has won international events, even Maximo, the king of Europe racing, Pete Karras, a pro driver, even Krakatoa, a volcano driver. But then you have like these unknown drivers, Rakas being an information broker, Banji, who has actually no titles despite being a world race leader, Lani, who had the most brain-dead first race, and Kadeem again, despite being a world race leader with no top titles. Fluke wasn't even considered in the starting lineup, even though he is the best ice racer in the world. Harrison Lau, one of the best Hong Kong stunt drivers, wasn't even selected. Chuvo, a champion buggy racer, and Everest, a Formula race car driver, wasn't even in the first starting lineup. Like, these guys are at the top of their game, yet they weren't chosen in that starting lineup. But I get it. In order to find potential, in order to find the best, you have to have a stab at the dark. The third problem with the world race is that the leaders of the world race could literally select anyone they wanted. Like their best friends, or some rando who just happened to slip into Drenniston's trunk, or Finn Serpa who doesn't even have a racing background. I mean, like, come on, Vert is so lucky that these guys had the skill of a professional racer. You can literally pick a homeless man in the street for the world race and no one would be none the wiser. Despite Tesla being a genius, one of the biggest flaws for the world race is his team-themed abilities. Each team is specialized for a certain terrain, for example Scorchers for lava, Road Beasts for forest, Dune Rats for desert, and Wave Rippers for supposedly water or overall, and Street Breed for the streets or something like that. The biggest issue here is that 3 of the races don't even matter. No matter where you place it, it's generally a random assortment of cars at the start, with the exception for the last race. Even then, if the terrain doesn't favour you, then you're not winning. Imagine if the last race was the desert race. Dune Rats would automatically win. I mean, did Tesla even know the realm environments beforehand? Probably not, because he didn't even get past the first obstacle. Because of this flaw, it causes there to be unfair advantages and disadvantages in the cars themselves. Some of the cars have really useful team-themed abilities like jump jets, which are just OP, while others just have teeth that bite, which really sucks for those drivers. It would have been slightly better if each team had a variety of useful themes, such as each team having a desert driver and a volcano driver, rather than just having a team theme. Anyway, that's my theory on why World Race is a scam, and it doesn't really matter. What do you think? Thanks for watching.